Hi, my name is Nurul Ashikin binti Abdul Hamid, and my partner is Ahmad Ikram Shakir. We will presenting about sustainable tourism in city nature, reserved as a new city space for nature-based tourism. So the first is introduction. So traveling to city become easier, faster, and in many cases cheaper than it was decade ago. So important fact is that the awareness of possibilities that come with the urban tourism rose significantly over the year. So urban tourism is a type of tourism activity which take place in urban space with its inherent attribute characterized by non-agriculture based economies such as administration, manufacturing, trade and service, and by being nodal point of transport. Urban destinations offer a broad of heterogeneous range of cultural, architectural, technological, social and natural experience and product for leisure and business. The next is the main issue. The first one is a noise level. Noise pollution with the increased entertainment facility, especially in the tourist city, has been turned out to be one of the major problems that impact the quality of life all over the world. So the level of entertainment noise exposure in the city was calculated by European Noise Directive. Almost all of the entertainment places located at the seaside. Therefore, the most effective population from the entertainment noise life close to this region. So in other words, 3% of residents' population is potentially threatened by high noise level, which may cause the severe illness such as hypertension, sleep disturbance, and each other. The next one is overcrowding. Overtourism occurs when there are many visitors to a particular destination. Overtourism is therefore not a new problem. However, while the term itself was coined in 2012, it did not hit headline until the summer of 2017. This was not because of the increase in tourism number, which had not been particularly dramatic. The next one is a population. Tourism can cause the same form of population as any other industry such as air emission, noise, solid waste and littering, release of sewage, oil and chemical, even architectural and visual pollution. So transport by air, road, rail is continuously increasing the response to the rising number of tourists and their greater mobility. Transport emission and emission from energy production are linked to acid rain, global warming, and photochemical pollution. Air pollution from transportation has impact on global level, especially from carbon dioxide (CO). Emission related to transportation energy use, and it contributes to several local air pollution. Some of these impacts are quite specific to tourist activity. For example, especially in very hot or cool country, tour bus often leave their motor running for hours while the tourists go out for an excursion because they want to return to a comfortability air conditioned bus. The next one is the analysis of this issue. The first one is international body like WHO agree that awareness of noise pollution is essential to bat this invisible enemy. For example, avoid a very noisy leisure activity. Optional for alternative means for transport such as a bicycle or electric vehicle overtaking the car. Do your housework at recommended times and insulate home with noisy absorbing material. Also, educating the younger generation is also as essential except for environmental education. The next one is the Limit transportation option so that destination do not become overwhelmed. This can mean cutting down the amount of flight or cruise ship that are permitted to arrive on a given day. By limiting entries, you can directly control the amount of tourists that enter a region or city at a time. The last one is a use public transportation and walk or bike. So this might be seem like an obvious one, but it's a common for traveler to automatically book a rental car when they are booking a trip. So when traveling, use a public transportation when possible and as much as possible. Both train and bus are some of the lowest carbon emitting mode of transportation and a great way to see a place like a local. Also, consider using carpooling option like Uber or BlaBlaCar in Europe for a short trip around the city. So a lot of place, for example in US or abroad, have awesome bike sharing program that will help you reduce a carbon footprint while traveling. And walking is always a wonderful option. It will drastically use a carbon emission and is a lovely way to get a some exercise.
So after me and my partner read this article, we get some suggestion to give for the nature reserve of tourism. So the first suggestion is the increased awareness of society regarding the use of nature reserve of tourism and respecting nature conserved in the reserve. Next, for the second suggestion is the increased popularity of nature reserve as the valuable tourism and recreation state particularly dedicated to tourism interested in nature-based tourism and ecotourism. The third suggestion we get for the nature reserve for tourism is the monitoring of the nature environment and tourist traffic, and also support from the politicians and the local community. Next, for the overall, what I can comment for this article. So, this was excellent report on every true research. The literature review was through. There was a clear, scientific and practically to sustainable tourism. The second comment, this and I approve of these publications. It is comprehensive and completely justified by the author. The data show is very clear. Last but not least, we get into the conclusions. So, what I get in conclusion for this article. So, the first, a review of literature and available references concerning nature reserve has coordinated that this is focused attention of many researchers, investigations, tourism in nature reserve. Second is it was also observed that of many states the document concerning reserve regulation establish the reserve conservation plans and indication on the accessibility of tourism, and then do not take into the account of the actually developing status of the reserve, the existing network of tourism trails and paths, and the infrastructure. That's all for me, Ikram Shakir, and my partner Nurul Ashikin for the article review. Thank you. Bye bye.